I just found out my chickens have worms, and yours probably do too. I know this because I found worms in their poop. The good news is parasites in livestock can be effectively managed naturally with a few different plants. Now, poultry worms are incredibly common, especially in the spring when there's a lot of moisture in the ground. The chickens accidentally eat the eggs or the larvae, and then they hatch in their small intestine. They live there and reproduce. And in the wild, many of these animals will seek out these plants when they know they have a high parasite load. They've developed instincts for this to keep their populations alive. The first thing I did was shovel out all their bedding and put down fresh bedding. That helps prevent reinfection by the chickens eating eggs or larvae in the soil. Now here's one of my first lines of defense. A big bed of garlic. Garlic is highly effective against a broad range of parasitic worms and microbes. Dried garlic can be added straight to their feed or garlic powder to their water. It doesn't take much before they start expelling worms. Culinary sage is also a very effective plant to use. Just like garlic, the dried crumbled leaves can be added to their feed. And here's one of the strongest antiparasitics that I grow, wormwood. Now this wormwood is just coming out of dormancy, just like the culinary sage. It has a very sagey, bitter smell to it. All the plants in the wormwood family are great dewormers, but this species, Artemisia absinthium, is one of the strongest. It's just coming out of dormancy and it's not quite ready for me to harvest a lot of leaves from, but luckily I came prepared. Last year at the peak of its growth, I harvested a large amount of wormwood leaves, and I dried them and crumbled them up and saved them for this exact sort of situation. My chickens do not like the taste of wormwood, so what I do instead of putting it in their feed is I make little dough ball treats for them, just using a little bit of flour. Mix some flour and water, add in a little pinch of wormwood to each dough ball, and make sure each of your chickens gets one every day for about a week. Within that week, if you start checking their droppings, you'll probably see worms. Be sure to shovel out their run during this time too, and clean out their nest boxes. That's where the majority of their droppings end up. Doing this will help prevent reinfection. Now, one more very effective herbal that I use for my chickens and rabbits is raw pumpkin seeds. Now, I'm sure that sounds really surprising, but when they're raw, specifically, not cooked, they have a compound in them that's so effective that a few seeds per animal per day will start flushing worms from their system and prevent their eggs from hatching. Now, it's very important that you do not use wormwood with pregnant animals. Instead, use pumpkin seed. That's far safer. For non-pregnant animals, it's totally fine. If you want more in-depth information on this subject, check out this book. It's a wonderful guide for deworming your livestock in a natural way. You can find it in my Amazon storefront under homesteading books. I hope it helps you, and thanks for watching.